Hey everybody, welcome back to the Go Live podcast. Happy Friday. My name is Dan, and yeah, I just do what I keep doing, which is making life easy. That's what I do. And so if you like this channel and you like life being somewhat easier, please drop a like, subscribe, share this because good information is on your way. Today, we're going to talk about some fundamentals. I spent a long time in my life doing a lot of different things, especially playing basketball. And there's a saying that goes, you can never, ever, ever spend too much time working on your fundamentals. And today we're going to be talking about one of the most important fundamentals when it comes to high school life and guidance and counseling and decision-making, and that is course selection. There are two golden rules for course selection. We'll be talking about them today, and I promise you this, if you violate one of these rules or one of these fundamentals, you will pay the price, and that is not a good thing. Trust me, not for anyone, not for you, not for students, parents, teachers, life, college admissions, none of it. So let's get into it. What are the two rules? Even if you've heard these before, guys, I recommend you stay on, you listen again, because I challenge everyone here to do these or to follow these two rules and spread them to your friends, your family, because I promise you this will save lives, guys. I'm not kidding. It will save lives, and it will most importantly save your grades. First rule of thumb when you're choosing courses, because that's right around the corner or you might be choosing already, is to take only the classes you know you're going to get an A in, right? So specifically, if we're talking about choosing between weighted coursework and non-weighted coursework. So let's say it's like, which AP should I take? Should I take AP Euro or just regular world? Or should I take Algebra 2 Geometry Accelerated? Or should I just take Geometry Common Core? Should I take AP Physics and AP Bio? Or should I just take, regular biology? Point is, guys, take only the classes, especially the weighted classes that you know, that's the key word there, not you think, you're going to get an A in. Here's why this is such a critical rule. Because if you don't know that you're going to get an A in a class, you're technically thinking then, well, the worst case scenario is maybe I'll get a B. And in the history of me working with students for the past 17 years, that assumption doesn't just lead to B's, it oftentimes leads to C's or worse. And you don't want to be in that situation. To go further, why would you take a class if you don't know you're going to get an A in it, especially if it's an AP honors class, right? Taking an AP and honors class and not knowing you're going to get an A in it, that would effectively equate to, joining a competition and, for the sake of winning and knowing that you're not going to win. It's like, or knowing that you don't even have a chance, right, at getting like the top 3 positions, right? It's like, well, why would you do it anyway if your goal is to win? So if your goal is to get into the best colleges possible, right, you need as many A's as possible. So going for an AP or an honors class, not knowing you're going to get an A, just don't do it, because it doesn't help you to college. Even if you get a B in an AP class, we've talked about this enough. The biggest myth out there, right? Getting a B in an AP class is like getting an A in a regular class. It's called a myth, guys. It's called a myth, okay? I've been working in college admissions forever. Let me tell you something. An A is an A and a B is a B. Ain't no way around it, okay? And colleges, the top college in the United States, they want to see not just that you've taken some rigorous classes, not all, some of them, right? They also want to see you get A's in them. They don't want to see you just taking AP classes and getting B's galore. That doesn't make you look good. That makes you look average, right? We're looking for exceptional students. So I'd rather you get an A than not. Let's just start with that, okay? And so a couple of things on this before we leave this fundamental. Here's some tips, guys. Don't compare yourself to other people, because, okay, how do you determine whether or not you can know for sure you'll get an A, right? Let me give you a couple tips. One, base it on your past performance. That's one, okay? So if you have a past history of 94, 95s and higher in a certain discipline, let's say math or science, right? Then that's a useful data point, right? That should inform you on how you might do if you were to take the advanced course, right? However, that alone is not enough. You also have to consider other factors like this. Who's the teacher? What's their reputation, right? Are they known for only giving out 2 A's out of the whole, class, right? What is their reputation, right? You also have to take that into account. And sometimes you have to ask around, right? And this leads me to a really, really careful, you have to be very careful about this. It's a big dangerous part here, which is, okay, let's say you were to ask around. This happens a lot of, for instance, like Mission San Jose or Irvington or Gun High, where students say, well, let's find out how hard this is. Let me go ask somebody who's taken the class. And they ask an upperclassman friend, or they ask a family member, like, a cousin who took this class with this teacher. And they ask him, and what do you usually hear? Typically, you got to be careful when you hear this. Well, it's a lot of work, but it's not that hard. It's manageable. That M word, guys, is like a mine. And you don't like to step on mines because you get blown up, okay? Manageable is a really, really subjective word. And secondly, you are not your friend. You are also not your cousin. You are also not your brother or sister, okay? You are you. So just because they did it and maybe they did well, let's say they got an A, doesn't mean you can. You're a completely different person with so many different years and days of different experiences. You can't just say, okay, just because they did, I can do well too, right? So you have to be honest with yourself. Take into account what? Historical data points of what you have gotten in that course subject area. Ask yourself, okay, who's the teacher or who are the teachers? What are my choices here? What am I looking at? Are they just exceptionally difficult and have a bad reputation? Or are they good, right? Are they easy, right? Historically, based on what everyone has said. And lastly, let me go ahead and try to ask around, but be careful what you hear, right? During that asking around the process, right? And so, try to your best to find out and make sure that you can get an A in these weighted courses, guys, because if you don't, you're going to make an insurance plan in your head, and it's going to sound something like this in your inner mind. It's okay, Dan, you'll just get a B at the worst case scenario. You don't want to mess with that. You just don't want to mess with that. So this brings me to fundamental number 2. Rule number 2 is, are you genuinely interested in the course content? Why is this so important? Because if you are not genuinely interested in something, guess what, guys? It will take you 3 times longer to do the work. Think about it. If you're doing something you like, it doesn't feel like work, right? It just flies around by because you're just enjoying yourself so much. If you do something you don't like, you're going to be checking your phone every two, three minutes. You're going to be trying to get away from it. It's going to take you so much time just to focus because you don't even like it. And guess what, guys? This has a hugely damaging effect on every student that has ever taken a class that they're not interested in, that I've ever advised and worked with. And that is, it sinks your grades in other classes. So before you start thinking about, should I take the AP version of this or a regular version, right? Freeze for yourself for a second and ask yourself, what are all the classes I'm taking? Because it's not just about that one singular slot. It's that you're talking about all the classes, right? So it's not just about am I sure that I'm going to get an A in one class? Am I going to get an A in all my classes, right? And so if I take a class that I'm not genuinely interested in, guys, that's a recipe for disaster. And you know what's crazy? That disaster usually happens in the 11th grade. Arguably the most important grade to show A's, not B's and C's, A's, right? Because that's usually when a lot of AP courses become available, right? And students go from taking 0 or 1 weighted course to 4 or 5, and they somehow magically think that they'll somehow make it out with amazing grades, and it just doesn't happen almost most of the time. I'll be honest, okay? When you over challenge yourself like that, and you go into classes that you're not even interested in, you're setting yourself up for failure, and college doors close as a result of that. So again, fundamental number 2, take only the classes that you are genuinely interested in learning about. And by the way, I don't mean that it has to do exactly with your major. That'll be a topic for another Go Live podcast, right? But it's, for instance, like you can be an engineering candidate, right? Or intended engineering major, but be profoundly interested in history. That's completely okay, right? Just be realistic with your time, be realistic with yourself, right? Do you know for sure that you can excel and get A's in all your classes, right? Which brings me up to basically, a couple of sub-tips with regards to taking classes that you're genuinely interested in, okay? You don't want to overload at the same time. So for instance, maybe you find yourself interested in bio and chemistry and math, right? Well, okay, and if I look at them individually, I can get A's in all of them. And, again, guys, be careful. Don't over-challenge yourself, right? College admissions likes to see that you challenge yourself without over-challenging yourself. AKA, take as many weighted courses as you can while still able to being able to get A's in all of them. That's the ideal situation, right? So again, to recap, 2 rules of thumb. And the answer to both of these questions has to be yes, with no hesitation, right? And sure, they might require some research, but again, the answers ultimately have to be yes without any hesitation. Number 1, do you know that you will get an A in this class? I'm not talking about prereqs that you have to take. I'm just talking about if you have a choice between a weighted class and a regular class, right? Do you know for the weighted class, if that's of the thing we're talking about, do you know that you'll get an A for sure, right? If the answer is no, forget about it. Forget about it, okay? Number 2, are you genuinely interested in the course content? If the answer is or I'm not sure, or no, forget about it. The answer has to be a solid yes for both of those questions. Both, not one, both of those questions, right? And let me give you an example. Let's say the answer is yes for the first question, but no for the second one. So do you know you'll get an A? Answer is yes. Okay, are you genuinely interested in the course content? The answer is no. Well, in that case, then I would still argue, okay, it would probably take you more time to do the work, which will likely drag down the grades in your other classes. And secondly, your life will probably be miserable for an entire academic year. And thirdly, my other guess, and this is quite an educated guess, I don't even think that class will probably have anything to do with your major. Because if you're intending on majoring in something, right, my guess is that you're probably interested in taking the classes that have something to do with it. So if you're sure you're going to get an A in a class, but you're not genuinely interested in it, I still wouldn't go for it, right? And again, flip side, right? If you don't know you're going to get an A in something, but you're genuinely interested in it, okay, you don't have to take a class in high school, guys, to learn about it then, right? Why would you do that, right? You're going to go ahead and take a class, and it's going to be overly difficult. It's going to be a huge stress for you for an entire academic year. Mark Twain said it best: don't let school get in the way of your education. If you're interested in something and you don't know you're going to get an A, learn about it somehow else. Don't let school get in the way of your education. If you want to learn about something, guys, I've heard recently there's something called YouTube and Google and the internet and Coursera and edX and people you can talk to. Guys, come on, let's be honest, okay? Set yourself up for success, right? However you define that, the way we define that at Ready EduGo is you open up as many college doors as you can. So stop making the same mistakes. I feel like I'm a broken record. I've been saying this to parents year after year after year, but for whatever reason, I keep finding students and parents making the same mistakes. They break one of these rules. And it's, again, do you know you're going to get an A? And are you genuinely interested in the course content? Simple as that. Guys, if you found this video helpful, please share it, because I'm sure everyone probably needs to know this if they don't know already. But drop a like, subscribe, drop a comment too. And if you guys have any requests for future video topics, please let us know anytime. Shoot us an email. Comments are good here as well. But till the next time, guys, happy Friday. Stay safe. We're still in some tricky times with COVID. Don't let the recent lifting of the lockdown fool you. I hope everyone is fine. I'll see you next time. Take care.